the kit where dreams are made of. I mean, it's fantastic.
Ooh, I think we might have just been muted, Josh, by accident. I think Nick, because I can't hear myself echoing, which is a sure sign that the stream can't hear us. Hopefully, I'm wrong on that, though.
We've just gone live because I can hear myself echoing as well.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, that's good. Okay, because I might be something weird going on my end. But hopefully everything's fine. I can't hear myself, and I can't hear which I guess is fine because it means I can actually hear myself think for a change. But I also can't hear the game audio. So I can't hear any cars. While you were talking there, Josh, Peter Schumann, one of the Fords had a big accident. Peter Schumann went right into it on the exit of Surtees, so that's why we're watching him in the pit lane at the moment. This is just free practice right now. In a couple of minutes, we're hoping to get qualifying underway. I believe we have got... Let's take a look at... hopefully I can get a race view up and see what the lap times are going to be. But I believe we have... I think you've just been able to get your picture up, Josh. So I've been distracted by that. Let me see if I can have a look. There we go. We've got 12, I think, in the server at the moment. So we should have at least 12 cars doing the race. We're going to do race 1, which will be 30 minutes based on the qualifying positions. That's going to be starting positions. And race 2 will be a reverse grid based on the finishing positions of race 1. So we should be finished by about 8:45. Well, that was the plan anyway. We might end up being more like 9:15 at this rate.
Plenty of time then as well. I think we came in late as well because we were talking about other things as well. I was just talking about the history that we've got here at Brands Hatch for the second of this testing event for the WTCC that we're going to have alongside the endurance races next year as well. And Brands Hatch is a fantastic circuit to test at as well because it is so historic as well. It's had Formula 1 races, British Touring Car Championship deciders every season for the past 14 or so years as well. It is just absolutely fantastic. And of course, we have got British touring cars racing this weekend as well. I mean, we look here with Sven Geerhold at the moment. He's on with Josh Cook in his Vauxhall car as well. So British touring cars
pretending to be Josh Cook, yes, in the Vauxhall.
He's doing slightly better job than poor Josh did at Brands Hatch a couple of weeks ago. But Cook, Sutton and Turkington, the only drivers this year in the touring cars to have 5 victories across the season. So that's a record that they hold together. But this circuit as well,
that's a bit wide, Sven. Into the barrier on the exit. That was a Sterling 2, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it just completely went wide there. It's a tricky corner. I remember playing this in Forza. That's one of the hardest corners, especially in the wet, to sort of just get through.
What was I saying as well about doing better? Then I take my words back immediately. But he's still top of the board. Was it 132.041 with Coleman in P2 at the moment? So it's going well. We've only got 11 cars in at the moment.
We've also just been given a message that qualifying will start in about just under 4 minutes' time. So we won't be waiting too long, ladies and gentlemen, to see, or as we see Spence Boris in the Mercedes just power sliding through Graham Hill Corner.
Yeah, the 33 here as well in the British Touring Cars. That's raced by Adam Morgan, or it was when this mod came out, because now, of course,
and
drives a BMW.
Boris making a bit of a mess of things there. Boris, of course, we might recognise from the Endurance Series, one of the GD3 runners. I'm trying to remember what... it was Paul Street Boys, of course.
Yes.
Boris drove for. There we go. I remember the team name. That's good.
We kept making a joke that their sister team is West End Girls.
Oh, of course, yes. Let's look at Aidan Coleman now, flying around through... Oh, that looks like a Hawthorns and...
That's down at Stirling Bend as well before coming into clearways here.
Yeah, here we go.
At Clark Curve. The Grand Prix circuit as well always throws me a little bit because...
thought he was going to spin out there. Yeah, always pushing it right to the limit at the final corner at clearways. Always so thrilling to watch, especially with a car like the Subaru, which, if I remember correctly, isn't the Subaru like a rear-wheel drive car.
Yes, and very, very powerful car as well. It's won the championship 3 times before we left. It's I think it's Hyundai now in with Adrian Flux, but the Subaru, very quick car. Not in its debut season though. It had a lot of problems and
it was very unreliable.
Missed a lot of meetings with Plato, Sutton, and as you said, actually reminded me, Ed, before we came on here, Turkington switched over from BMW, went there for a year, didn't like it, wasn't in the championship contention, and went back to BMW and became a 2-time champion in a row. So, yeah, the first person to do that since Shedden and Neil did it in 8 and 9 and 10 and 11.
Great to see the Scooby, as they call it, being put through its paces. And that reminds me, actually, seeing the Subaru, is that we should talk a little bit about the fact that we ourselves are entering a team into the full season. As we see MG being it in the background, not sure quite who that was. I think it might have, no, not Perez. I'm trying to find who it was. As we look at Antonio Nippon being serviced in the pit lane, changing a few tyres.
It looked like one of the fours, didn't it? So I can't work out who it was.
I thought it was the MG because it was different coloured each side, which made me think it was probably the MG. Probably...
I remember that livery, actually. It used to confuse everybody and nobody liked it.
Well, the confusion carries on, and as Nippon decides the garage is the best place to put new tyres on rather than the little box. Who's out on track at the moment? Nilsson is in the Team Shredded Wheat car. Or is he? He doesn't seem to be anywhere because it's not Kendo. So I'm assuming there we go. He's just been taken back to the pits.
Yeah.
So everyone's just waiting for Cody to start already. Everyone's in the garage. But what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, we were going to enter a team, weren't we, Josh? It was going to be called Hunter Birch Simulation. Or Hunter's BS for short. I'll leave. I've already explained what BS stands for. Birch Simulation, of course.
British Sterling.
Yes, so there we go. It looks like qualifying is getting underway. And the whole train of cars exiting the pits. There's Sven Gielhed. He'll be hoping he can recreate his practice form and take pole position here. But it's certainly going to be close. And let's keep an eye on the timing screen and see who can get the best early laps on the wall. But certainly, we have got one driver for the season already signed up. We don't reveal who it is because he doesn't like the limelight, prefers to just us to put his name down the entry list. So we'll see who it is when the first race appears, because it'd be hard not to mention him then. Hopefully, because he'll be winning as we see the Subaru go right through the camera at 30.
Oh, there's contacts already at the exit as well. So Gearhardt's really pushing it.
Sven doesn't like being held up, does he?
No, he's really pushing the boundaries in already. As we've got 13 cars in.
It looks like Kuzmierzik has just joined the server then.
One thing I always find interesting as well with this circuit at Brands is that you've got to get a qualifying lap in early because it's such a fast-flowing circuit. It really is a single line. So if you are on a slowdown lap, you're going to interfere with the people behind. If you're on a fast lap, you're always going to be put off slightly. So get out there early, get in the running, and don't just wait in the pit lane thinking that nobody's going to destroy your lap, because they will destroy your lap. It's only a 2.4 mile circuit as well. It's undulating as well. It's fast sectors and completing in around about a minute 30 we've been seeing in the practice sessions. That's going to come down, I think, to about a 1:27 in qualifying as the laps start now. They've only got 15 minutes to do so, so it's a lot more pressure because the touring car boys usually have half hour. They get half
look
that
at the
time.
flame spinning out the back of Perez's car as he drifts it through Paddock Hill Bend. Wow, that was quite action stations there, wasn't it, Joshua?
I give that a 7 out of 10. For what does Darcy Bustle
top
think?
marks for effort, yeah.
Let's go to the judges for the scores. As Aidan Coleman then coming out of Druids downhill towards Graham Hill Bend as well. This is when we saw the most drama in the touring car race a couple of weeks ago on the Grand Prix circuit as well. It's a downhill segment of the track, and the inside apex is off camber. So if you make a lock up there and a little error, it'll send you off wide, and then you onto the high grass banking, and it just spins you out and back into the path of oncoming cars. So they've got to be careful lap one in that position as
Eric Comedy has just set a fastest first sector 43.9, Aidan Coleman 44.3, Francisco Perez 44.3, even with the the power slide at Paddock Hill. So clearly Perez is getting the tyres warmed up, that's for sure. As Alwai is the first to go through the sector 2, but it's Comedy who sets a purple time 25.4, Perez 25.7. So I think some of the other front runners have abandoned their laps. I've only seen Coleman, Comedy, and Perez continuing their laps, and it's actually Coleman who sets the purple second sector now, 25.3.
as across the line. I'm seeing no times appearing at the moment. Now we see them, as you say, 132.63, Comedy 132.654, 9,000ths of a second, separating them at the moment as well. Times coming through. I did not expect that to be 9,000ths a gap at the moment. So they're really flying out there at the moment. They've got those tyres up to temperature immediately on what is admittedly an overcast Brands Hatch. Always usually get rain here as well, so it's nice to see that even in the EERC conditions pretty much the same as they exit now down towards the exit of Surtees as well. And,
yes, and Comedy, who set the fastest lap, 132.6. The problem is that now he's coming up to traffic, which I imagine is going to make it a bit difficult for him to set a better lap time here. So this might be a cool down lap. Let's see what the other time screens are. I know you can't quite get the timing screens up yet, Josh, but
not just yet.
Yes. So who is Gearhead is on a good lap actually at the moment. He's just set a 43.218, which was the fastest first sector.
Luke Pond's still in the pits as well, so that's not ideal. You're going to get caught up in the traffic. It's a quick blast. It's literally, I would say, 3 hot laps into the pits, 3 hot laps again in a 15-minute session.
Here we go. Here's Gearhead finishing his lap. Let's see where this puts him in the starting grid, a provisional starting grid for this race 1. 10 minutes remaining. Gearhead powers towards the line out of clearways. And what time is it? It's the fastest time, of course. 1.4. Blows Comedi's previous best out of the water, and Asim Alawi also sets a very good time, about half a second slower than Gearhead, to get the 600 car, which I believe is one of the Subarus.
Yeah.
Let's have a look just to make sure. Nope, it's of course
Ford Focus.
The Focus. Yes, so I'm completely wrong on that.
I'm trying to see
but
which.
a brilliant lap there by Alawi. I was listening to his own stream and he got annoyed at me for calling him Alawi because he said it rhymed with alibi. So I'm going to call him Alawi.
Alawi, okay.
I hope that's right because he didn't say how to actually pronounce it, which would have been helpful.
The 600, that's Sam Tordoff's car, a name I haven't heard in the touring cars for a number of seasons as well. Tordoff had some good success.
Proud Yorkshireman Sam Tordoff, yes. Of course, champion in 2013, which I actually saw at Brands. Sam Tordoff just about struggled to that title and beat Colin Turkington, I believe, that year. So as we see Perez, somebody's just set a better lap time. Is that Coleman, who's got up into 4th in the number 1 car?
Yep, he's 1.235 off.
Yes, he's just behind Comedy, who's the fastest time at the moment.
That's in substance.
Only 7 lap setters so far, so not too busy out there. We've still got Nick Pond, Tom Dillon, Nilsson, Eggert, and Homewood. And of course, the other guy who left, whose name I can't remember how to pronounce, but Kamerziak, I believe. Without seeing it on screen, it's hard to remember. But hopefully, you can get back in the server and set some times. 8.5 minutes left to go, and Eggert actually sets the 8th fastest time now in the MG. So Eggert's starting to get laps on the board and going as wide as he likes, and the Ford Focus follows.
He's a 10th behind Boras at the moment as well. So that's room to improve. Ideally, getting a 10th here would mainly be down at Hawthorne Bend into Westfield as well. It's the quickest part of the track because you're going downhill, so you really carry the speed as well.
Nick Homewood is about to put a lap time on. He's set some personal best because he hasn't set time before. So we'll have to see how that compares with Eggert, which I believe is probably about where he's going to filter out in this so far.
Oh, he's pitted. Homewood's pitted.
Okay, well, clearly it wasn't a great lap then. But Eggert not far behind Ben Sporos at all, so I think there's more time in that MG, Josh.
Oh, there's definitely going to be more time as well as we now swap back as well. Look at this. He's dancing through Dingle Dell, which is one of the only parts of the track that's been changed. It used to be a chicane. Now it's just a fast follow-through. Here's Stefan Nielsen then. Now we go back to Sven Gearhold just coming out.
Let's watch Gearhead finish his lap because, is he just slowed down a bit?
Yeah, he looks like he has. No, he's slowed down very much so, isn't he?
Okay, yeah. So clearly hanging out a little bit too much and waiting to reset for the next lap. So let's see. How about we run on board and get a good view?
He was a little bit wide. So here we go into Paddock Hill Bend. Downhill segment. Oh, he's lost the rears. He's drifting that one.
That seems to be the fastest, especially for these rear wheel cars, Josh, because they let the rear step out a bit. With the front wheel cars, they tend to understeer a bit more, don't they? Whereas it's more oversteer with a lot of these rear wheel drive cars, I find. It depends how they set them up, of course.
Yeah. I presume they've got a drifting
look at him
setup.
going well over the curb at Graham Hill, isn't he, Josh?
That was a very bad line through Druids and coming down to Graham Hill Bend. That lap at the start has compromised him massively. Got to hook it up nicely now, going through Surtees. That's okay exit. Did a bit of a ramble. Now you can't really mess up Pilgrim's Drop. It's literally, well, ask Johnny Herbert, he did it. Downhill we go. And up through Harewood Hill now.
Well, we got some traffic up ahead, Josh.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem as well, as I said, because now you're coming through the really fast parts. Westfield, Dingle-Dell and Sheen Curve. 3 rights as well.
Oh, no, he already was going wide, did you see, into Sterling number 2.
Yeah, he had a bad one.
We can look at Staffan and see if he can set a decent time. What are his sectors looking like for Staffan at the moment? Schumann is set at 43.7 in the first sector. It's a personal best. Eggert is set 44.5. Nielsen is set 44.4. So I think Schumann is probably the one to follow at the moment.
He's right down on the deck, isn't he? Where is he? Times. Here we go. Back on the pictures. Into the last 2 corners, Clearways and Clark Curve. Sliding.
That's a little bit wide. He may as well finish this one, see where it puts him. He's only got 5 minutes left to improve, though, as Peter Schumann goes towards the timing line. What is it going to be, Josh? It's going to be...
Oh, he's 6th fastest. 2.2 seconds off the pace, but that's a very respectable time. Puts him halfway in the field, and that's a nice place to be if you're thinking about reverse grid race 2.
9 tenths behind Pires, though. He's a teammate from Fringavond, so hopefully Peter Schumann can get a lap together that just puts him into the top 5, but it's going to take quite the effort. Here's Nassim Alaoui, just about to start a lap. And,
he's P2, yeah.
Yeah, so Nassim trying to close in on Sven Gielhead's time and to see if he can get the best possible starting position. And look, much more stable at Paddock Hill Bend, not really doing anything too dramatic there. Let's see if the time is going to start getting set alight as Nick Pon is about to set his first lap, I think. Where's this going to put him? Hopefully somewhere fairly respectable. No, he's just starting the lap. Okay. Apologies. But yes, currently the field all within about 3 seconds of one another. 4 minutes remaining, and it is Gielhead, Alaoui, and Kumedi, the top 3. Look at Eggert really pushing it there. And then again, exit and approaching clearways. He's got the sister MG close behind, so he doesn't want to back up too much before this attempt. Oh, going as wide as he liked. The entry there into clearways wasn't ideal there, was it, Josh? But so there's Nielsen starting the lap. We go on board with the shredded wheat car. And a purple first sector for Alaoui.
So he's going fastest already then in that sector because he's got 5 tenths of a second to catch up on. And that first sector is quite quick to do so.
Here we go, going towards the line. What's it going to be? Is he going to get any closer? He gets a bit closer, yeah, but still. Oh.
Oh, no.
And in fact, Coleman has just thrashed that lap time in the Subaru. So the Scooby really is going for his paces in Brands Hatch, and there's clearly a nippy car, as Coleman is proving. In Coleman, of course, we've seen driver for 360 in the past in EERC, 360 Motorsports in the distinctive dark blue livery, and the dark blue Subaru tends to suit him well. Only just under 2 tenths behind Gielhead's time. He's still got 2 minutes and 43 seconds left.
Slide in the rears.
Yeah, there we go. That's clearly the fastest way around some of these corners, though, Josh.
They do know it's a British touring car race,
not necessarily
not
the kindest way on the tyres, though.
No.
I don't think, because across a race, just across 30 minutes, your tyres will cry enough by the end, won't they? It'll be like...
Also, got to think about fuel usage as well. How much that's going to be using, lighting up the rear tyres.
Yeah, this is quite a full speed circuit in place. It is always Coleman really lets the rears hang out and just about gets it back under control again. But as another shocker, Kuzmierzik has just set Durand Kuzmierzik in the Sicily Mercedes Motorsports car has just set a time just about a second off Gielhead's best effort, but that's good enough for 4th, and it's a displaced Kumedi down to 5th. So Eric Kumedi in the Subaru want to get a move on and start setting better lap times. I think that's actually Kamedi just ahead.
Yeah.
Oh no, it isn't. This is Kamedi. Let's see if he's on a decent lap here.
This is across the line, isn't it? So is this going to throw him up for P5?
He's going to get only one more effort, I think. We're getting towards final lap territory. There we go. Not quite good enough to improve for Eric Kamedi. So he stays 5th then. And so Coleman goes back to the pit, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to improve on that, actually. So Aiden Coleman.
Pierce goes 4th. Pierce goes into P4 as well. He's just 7 tenths away.
Francisco. A great lap by San Francisco. We saw him sliding it at Paddock Hill Bend as that Nick Pond just getting into 8th there. So all the runners starting to set lap times now. I think only Tom Dillon yet to put one in.
There he goes.
There we go. He goes 10. So a good effort by Tom as Alawi. I think Alawi will just get another run in before the end, but whether it's good enough to beat Geelhead, I'm not sure. Let's see. Any purple sectors out there? The 2 purple sectors, it's 2nd and 3rd sector. It's Sven Geelhead who's got the fastest ones.
He's rattling out 4th gear as well, so 5th gear, top gear.
A whole half a second ahead.
Let's see him then through into the back. That's Dingledale, got it all out of shape as well for coming through Sheen Curve into Sterling Bend as we cut back to Pascal Leggett now up into Druids.
There we go. First sector for Sven Geelhead, 43.1. 43.4 for Nassim Alawi. 43.4 personal best for Duran Kuzmierzik. So Duran really putting a late charge here, isn't he, to get himself up the order? And that was
Eggett's off. He's gone on the Indy circuit as well. That's
sneaky,
the fastest way.
Sneaky. Yeah. I'm not sure what Eggett's trying to pull here as the checkered flag is out.
He's done a James Hunt in 76.
Whoa! As you look at Coleman, not able to start the lap in time, decides to have a little 360 motorsport degree spin against the barrier.
I think Gearhold's definitely got pole position now then. The checker flag's out. Anybody?
There might be a yellow flag. So Kuzmierzik is 2 green personal best sectors. Let's see if he can improve as he powers towards the timing line.
And Kuzmiak's time has been deleted. He's
been disqualified from the session. Not sure what that's about, but hopefully we get some resolution on that. But I've no idea if that had anything to do with the Aiden Coleman incident. If maybe he crashed him off and that's why he's been disqualified for bad sportsmanship, or if there's corner cutting or something else going on. But certainly that would be an in-game thing, because the stewards have explicitly said they won't be doing any interference in these test races. But there we go. I think you're right, Josh. It's pole position then for Sven Geelhead for race 1, with Coleman and Alawi close behind them. So I think Alawi will be disappointed just to be pipped by a 10th by Aiden Coleman. But certainly, I think Geelhead will fancy getting 2 race 1 wins in a row, because he won in the World Touring Cars at Donington as well.
I think this could do easily so as well. He got a great getaway in the World Touring Car cars. These BTCC cars, however, are a completely different kettle of fish as well. They rev up massively. And then the control launch as well. It's like being hit with a bullet as well. It is just unbelievable. They actually get off the line quicker than a Formula 1 car, these British Touring cars. The initial launch is quicker, which I always find surprising. But science leads as the fastest to get off from a standing start. MotoGP bikes, the fastest of any sport to get off the line. Then it's drag cars, then it's British Touring cars, then it's Formula 1 cars, because Formula 1 cars are revving the grips so much. And because you pull that at 10,000 RPM, when you hit the gas, it just eases in. Whereas with British Touring cars, it's full off the brake, go, straight away.
Right, so we're not going to waste time then. We're going to go, I think, straight into race 1. So I can't hear the engines revving, but hopefully you at home can. There's Sven Geelhead on the inside. But he's got Aiden Coleman right alongside in the Subaru. So it's all about who makes the best start and who can tuck in the inside at Paddock Hill Bend and then into Druids, of course. So I have a feeling someone on the outside might get in trouble. Here we go. The light's about to go out. And when they do, the race will be underway at Brands Hatch as the Sicily Mercedes has a bit of a jump start. Boris gets a penalty. but Geelhead makes a bad start. Coleman takes the lead into Paddock Hill, and Geelhead will have to fight back now, won't he, Josh? Look at all this chaos going on behind.
Fantastic, typical touring car start. Exactly what I said. It's a different kettle of fish getting these cars off the line. Geelhead was not prepared for it as well. Boris just mistimed the lights as well. Only 4 lights in our Factor 2, so when the 4th came on, he thought it was go. And then it just all catapulted from there as well. Kuzmak's back down to 13th.
A little mistake by Aiden Coleman, and this could allow Sven Geelhead to retake the lead into Surtees. Here he goes down the inside, Josh. Oh, he's through.
And he's got through brilliantly, but now, of course, we've got Coleman's going to have to run up because here comes Allegro as well. He's coming right alongside, down through Pilgrim's Drop, side by side. I've got to be so careful not to make contact as the cars bottom out.
I think Aloy's just ahead. He's going to have to be quite forceful here. Oh, but Coleman backs out of that one quite sensibly now. So Aloy free now to chase Sven Geelhead for the win. But Coleman looking very shaky in these first few laps. Quite literally, the car squirming all over the place. And this could be an opportunity for Perez then, if that continues.
Fantal, and that's Coleman having a bit of an hour.
That's Perez, actually. Perez having a big moment and just about collecting it in time before Schoenman arrives.
Yeah, they all did it. Both Coleman and Perez did it. They just sort of lost control coming through the back of Dingledell into Sheen Curve as well. Riding with Petter Skolman now coming into the back half of Clearways and Clark Curve. Look, they're all struggling for front end grip. Track conditions, the temperature at the front must not be ready, because remember, unlike with World Touring cars, some of these touring cars as well, they're front wheel drive, which means the rear is incredibly slidey compared to the front, and that's what you see coming through Paddock Hill Bend.
Oh, almost like all 4 wheels off the track, and a penalty for Perez for cutting the track, I think.
Yeah, had to be.
He might appeal to that. Oh, here we go! That's Eric Kamady going right down the inside of the Druids, and that was a very risky move down the inside. Pierce Schumann and chaos behind. Well, the blue Mercedes been kicked in on the exit of Druids as that was Schumann was rejoining the circuit. But yeah,
Dylan was the best one there to capitalise on that. He's moved up at least 2 positions. Boris has dropped down to 11th place at the moment. Homewood's in the mix there as well. He might just be thinking what's going on. Boris gets passed by back past Dylan, as well. And here's Eric Kamady now side by side. Same goes for the front as Nielsen passes Pierce. 2 side by sides. That's not going to work out this time. Oh, and that's Antonio Nick pulls out of the race.
I didn't realise we cut away there. Oh, Pierce Schumann makes contact with Eric Kamady again, and Eric Kamady holds the line and makes it through round the outside there. So that was very brave stuff from Eric, but Peter Schumann will have a legitimate means to feel aggrieved.
Boris and Kuzmiak side by side for the back. They make contact as well. Kuzmiak goes through. He's in the dark green at the moment in the number 15. He's sliding every which way he can. The 33 of Boris coming back. Yes. He's driving out of Morgan's car.
Duran Kuzmiak, who of course was disqualified, had to start at the back of the grid, was looking good for like a top 5 or top 4, has now made his way back up to 9th then, with all the chaos going on as
Who's that in the pit lane? Who's that coming down the pit lane?
Oh, is that Nick Pon maybe trying to rejoin the race? But I think it might be
Perez.
It's Perez, yes. Yeah. Francisco Perez, who was serving that penalty for cutting the track, as we saw at that moment at Dingledell where he just cut the inside and just about managed to save it as Schumann Kamady continue to fight one another.
Side by side at Druids as well. Cutbacks now. Try and get back on the inside coming to Square Bend. If you can't do that, take the wide line and cut round on the inside into Surtees. But that was actually good from Skolman because he just sort of put the car in the centre of the track. Couldn't allow any positions to be dealt with. But now, look at this. The rear Subaru sliding around as well as they head down towards Pilgrim's Drop. This is where the toe comes in advantage as well. And this is the difference. If you join us for the World Touring Car Championship race as well, this was the difference between the two. Touring cars for World Endurance Racing, they can't keep up. British touring cars, they are crash bang wallop wherever you look. It's one of the best saloon car races series you will ever see.
Oh, and the MG just through Sterling number 2, getting a little twitch on, and that gives Kamady half a chance to get. These two have been going right at it, haven't they, Josh? I think
always.
Yeah, and great to see a little fight from Eric Kamady, of course, fresh off his first podium in EERC, I think, with the GD3 class. As a penalty for Nick Homewood down in 11th place, which is unfortunate for him, as once again Peter Schumann goes a bit wide, and that gives Eric Kamady the run he needs into as they approach Paddock Hill Bend. Is he going to go for the outside? Yes, he is. The Subaru He's going to not have a lot of space to get through, but he can maybe set up the move for Druid. Oh,
Yeah, cuts back.
Almost bumper to bumper there, wasn't it, Josh?
It was so close. He tried to cut back a perfect line as well. Scummer's just putting that car in all different places where it shouldn't go. That
Yes, and
number
of course
10 is
Schumann is
falling.
now being held up by Stefan Nilsson, who we saw, I think, having a bit of a timing glitch, but he's that seems to sort itself out now. Right behind them, of course, they've got Duran Kuzmiazik, who's been closing them at a rate of knots. So we've got a great four-car battle here. Schumann goes for the inside of Stefan Nilsson.
Boras
Isn't quite able to get the cutback as Boras gets another penalty after his jump start. So the race goes from bad to worse for Benz Boras, and the Paul Street Boys driver. But Schumann really looking keen to get into 5th place here, isn't he? But if he makes one little slip up, that's going to allow Eric Kamedi through again, isn't it?
Nilsson is just sliding. Now he's giving way. Scummer's going to track over the outside, coming into Dingledale. And now he's trying to come back inside. He's done. That's the mistake. That's the mistake Kamedi needed. He dives up the inside and gets through. Brilliant move, but staying round the outside, coming into the back half of the Sheen curve. And that was a legendary defence. I think Barry Sheen would be very proud of that one.
Oh, indeed he would, Josh. The corner named after him, but Kamedi's not done yet. He's going to try and get the outside at clearways. No way through there, my friend. You're going to have to set that one up for a bit later on.
Oh, the sliding is Kamedi now. He's trying to come back on the inside. Kuzmiak's right there as well to capitalise. It's going to be 3 abreast. I think into Druids.
Oh, it's down the inside. Goes the Mercedes as Kuzmiak goes up for 4.
Oh, contact.
Oh, didn't quite make his way there through. Eric Kamedi does not like being pushed around, does he?
He does not. And now look, Kuzmiak's trying to dive up the inside. Kamedi's going to shut the door, slides the rear as well, just to give a bit of intimidation down into Graham Hill Bend. And Kuzmiak looks to the inside. Kamedi shuts the door. This is what touring car racing is. It only ended 2 weeks ago. I didn't realise how much I missed it already. This is great racing. I do enjoy the British touring cars.
Yes, indeed you do, Josh. I can tell by your tone of voice, and so do I, to be quite honest. There's Nilsson now. I think Nilsson made a real bit of a mistake on that previous lap in because he sort of allowed Schumann and Kamedi through, didn't he?
Yeah.
And now Kuzmiak is also taking advantage. So
he
really,
made the error here, didn't he?
And now
that
that Kamedi has dealt with Kuzmiak, he's already starting to close Peter Schumann in again. So the fight at the very beginning, Gilhead is...
Oh, off! Schuman's gone off! He's gone too wide, got a penalty for it too! He ran wide at the exit at Dingledale, through, finally goes Kamedi. Kuzmiak deals with him too.
Oh, there we go. So Schumann's defense comes to an end, or does it? As he looks down the inside and tries to almost push the Mercedes off there, but Kuzmiak holds his line. And now Nilsson's going to go around the outside too, so Schumann is probably going to come in as soon as possible.
Oh, that's tight. That's very tight. Yeah, he's pitting. I think he's got damage.
That was a nice battle while it lasted, though. But he's got to serve the penalty, isn't he, for the exceeding track limits? But great battle there. So here's the leader, though, by the way, who's almost 4.5 seconds ahead of Nassim Alaoui in the Ford. So Alaoui has done his best, but Alaoui's got Coleman not too far behind, I think, just within sort of touching distance. Then it is Pascal Leggett in 4th, having a pretty lonely race, it must be said, although Kamedi may make him feel a little bit less low. Nilsson goes very wide at Graham Hill Bend. I've seen touring cars take that line before and end up spinning and crashing into one another.
Nick Hamilton did that last time as well. We raced here at the Grand Prix circuit. Poor Nick as well. He didn't have a great season last as well. Forced to miss one race after a nasty accident at Alton Park. But good news is
But to be honest, it's just great to see Nick Hamilton, a driver who, suffers from cerebral palsy and as well as basically suffered his whole life and been able to overcome that. And because he's always had the same interest in racing that I think his brother Lewis has had. But the thing is, funnily enough, Nick Hamilton back in the day was big into racing. Oh, it's Tom Dillon in 8th. Has the mother of all tank slappers and isn't quite able to save it, and the front of the Subaru goes into the wall. That looked like just the exit of Sterling number 2, which is the corner they're all struggling with, isn't it? So,
so, no one could get that one right this weekend as well.
But Dillon continues on at least, so thankfully the damage is not too extensive. Shall we change the gap to interval between one another so we can actually get a more accurate picture of where the big battles are? The biggest battle is Kuzmiak and Kamedi, actually, as Eggert gets a penalty in 4th, so that could let Eric Kamedi and Duran Kuzmiak fight for 5th position now, as Ben Boras has a little moment.
They're all going off at the moment. Oh, little glitch there. They're all going off at the moment.
I accidentally minimised.
I don't think it affected
That's how
the
exciting it is.
pictures. Yeah. Didn't affect the stream though, just affected my pictures up in the box. But yeah, this is amazing racing. Also, interesting note as well. Usually, the British Touring Car Championship race is around about 25 minutes long, so we're going to go 5 minutes longer than we've ever done. The only other time I can remember doing that is when we had an hour race to celebrate the 60th anniversary a couple of years back. And that had to have multiple tyre changes. So these Dunlop tyres they're on, we haven't changed any formats. These tyres will start to degrade very, very quickly.
Yeah, only 20 minutes left of this race. And Aloy has a little bit of a moment because he's dropped a couple of seconds to Geelhead. And now Coleman is right behind him, as we can see on screen. So, but Kamedi is right behind Eggert as well. Eggert still to serve that penalty, of course.
He must have had another issue, Eggert, as well. To lose 1.2 seconds this lap alone, he must have run wide somewhere on the track. Must have been in Sector 2 as well. I'm guessing it's down at Westfield, Dingle-Dell and Sheen Curve where everybody's been going, as you
or
say.
Eggert decides not to come in to serve the penalty.
Oh.
I'm going to stay out as long as I can. And
here comes Eric Kamedi then in the 116 Subaru. That's also Sutton's. Coming through into Paddock Hill Bend, down the drop.
And it looks like we have our first second retirement race because Nick Pond retired earlier, and Tony Nick Pond. But Tom Dillon, it looks like after his instance retired.
Oh,
Eric
no,
Kamedi is spun around by Kuzmierzik. Oh, that's horrible, like for Kamedi, and I don't think Kuzmierzik did that deliberately. But yeah, he's lost the position now to Staffan Nielsen. But horrible misfortune there. Kuzmierzik was just in the wrong place down the inside, maybe a bit over aggressive, and round went Eric Kamedi. Of course, no penalties in this race. The stewards going quite lenient. Eggert makes another mistake at the exit 30s. Kuzmierzik up to 4th now. Wow.
Disqualified in qualifying, started this race in 13th, and now he's running P4, and he's going to start catching
He's only
Coleman.
11 seconds behind Coleman, who's still right behind Aloy. So there could be a battle for second, really. It's still 17 minutes left to catch the leaders. 11 seconds. I think Kuzmierzik fancies. Even, I think Geelhead does 7 seconds. He'll be able to hold on to that. But 11 seconds to this lot, he can close that in the remaining time left in the race.
Easily.
Coleman, meanwhile, is thinking of beating Kuzmierzik to it.
Yeah, because look, they're still battling now. Look, so these two get in a right battle. They're going to lose time, hand over fist. Look at this as well. Coleman going to try and go around the outside. That's not an overtaking position. He's going to try and cut to the inside, get a straight line on the run up towards Druids and send the car to the inside. Alacri's done okay defending, so Coleman can't really put the car in the correct position just yet. Maybe down to Graham Hill Bend, no. So that's a great bit of defensive driving there from Alacri.
Yes, and actually they've slightly pulled away from Kuzmierzik. Kamedi's got going again about 5 seconds behind Nielsen, so he'll be hoping to catch back up there. He should at least, if Eggert still has to serve that penalty, should be able to gain a position through that. But certainly Eric Kamedi not having that it really hurt his momentum, that spin. So we'll be hoping to recover as strongly as he can in the last 15 minutes of the race, as Eggert is now actually still just under a second behind Kuzmierzik. But the big battle here is for second overall between Aloy and Aiden Coleman. And can Nassim Aloy hold on in the Ford Focus from the Subaru? Coleman.
There is a second race coming, so maybe count your losses in the first.
Oh,
get it for second, it's got him!
There we go. A little twitch, but Coleman is around the outside. He's not going to find room there. Once again, Aloy stops the Subaru going from the ideal line, like you say, Josh. And Coleman will have to wait another lap. But the more laps he waits, the more comfortable Nassim Aloy is going to get because he sees, he's figuring out exactly how Aiden Coleman likes to drive, how he likes to attack, and he can anticipate that and defend against it. So Aiden might have to start doing a few dive bombs if he wants to really get through. Here we go. Druid's coming up now. Let's see if he gets a decent run. But I don't think he's going to be quite able to dive without causing an accident, as Eggert finally comes in to serve that penalty for corner cutting.
Oh, look, he's flashing the lights. Coleman's flashing the lights as well. They use that trick in touring cars as well as endurance racing. He wants to get past. Look at it. Look,
this feels like a really weak part of the track for Nassim Aloy. As Boris gets another penalty. That's his third, I think.
I've lost count.
Yeah, definitely at least 3 for Bence Boris, unfortunately. But hopefully he'll continue on, because if he finishes the race, then that's an easy reverse group pole for him. Aiden Coleman, meanwhile, starting to get, like you say, Josh, getting a little bit frustrated And Alawi really is having to soak up the pressure here. Here we go. He's got the inside potentially here.
Oh,
Not quite.
no.
Another long side. Backs out of that one.
He's flashing those lights as well. It's making me think it's Christmas Eve in Blackpool already. It's getting a bit ridiculous, actually, that he's flashing the lights that much as well. He's trying to put Alawi off, but I don't think Alawi's going to be looking in that rearview mirror anytime soon. He's going to keep trying to keep calm and keep that car pointing in one direction. Coleman's just so much more faster in these segments of slow corners as well. The Ford very much prefers straight line speed, and he gets held up completely. Look at this. Look how slow it was coming out of Clark Clever and Clearways now. Down the straightaway, trying to go around the outside into Panicle Bend. That is not a position that's going to work out because Alawi's going to be able to push you wide into the gravel. Get the cutback.
That was a compromised line from Alawi, but Coleman had to compromise his line too. He's sort of twitching through paddock there, and the Ford yet again able to hold off, and the gap out front really growing now. Schumann, unfortunately, he dropped down to 8th and now has got another penalty, so he should emerge in front of Nick Homewood, who's 21 seconds behind him. But yeah, Peter Schumann's race unraveling a little bit. Unfortunately, not going to be a strong finish as he would have hoped. But still, Aiden Coleman continues to hassle and harass the Ford Focus. And Alawi not having any of it though, Josh.
Lights are flashing again. Jingle all the way. Rudolph, will you guide my sleigh tonight as he goes down
we're getting all the
Selwood?
Christmas movie titles into our commentary today, aren't we, Josh?
Well, it feels like Christmas already, doesn't it, for some people, even though it's bonfire night tomorrow. Happy bonfire night for everyone watching as well. Hope you have a safe one tomorrow. Look at this as well. He's sliding big time now. Going to try with the outside as he go past Dingle Dell. Or Jingle Bells as they come through. They still can't find a way through, can he? Coleman's got a penalty.
Penalties. We were riding on board there. I think he just cut the track and triggered the corner cut penalty. So that is going to bring a premature end to this battle, probably in a couple of laps' time. But I suspect Coleman will hold on for as long as he can, just to put on a bit of a show for us. Or he might, or alternatively, he might pit immediately and just get it out of the way. There we go. Yeah. Okay, sensible from Aiden Coleman. But that is going to promote Kuzmiazek to 3rd. So it's from the back of the grid, from being disqualified and qualifying to the podium for Kuzmiazek at the moment.
Penalty. Eggert's got a penalty as well. He's just down in P7. Oh, and Dylan's... Oh, he knew he's out of the race.
Yeah,
okay.
Dylan continues to not be in the race. There's Peter Schumann about to be lapped by the race leader, Sven Gilhead. Oh, no, that's not Sven. That's someone else.
Kuzmiak's coming to the pit lane too, so he's not going to take 3rd place.
Okay. Not sure what this is about. So
drive-through, it looks like.
Nielsen is going to get into 4th then.
But Coleman's come out P3. Okay, so Coleman served his drive-through, and then Kuzmiak's come through.
Eric Kamadi is serving one as well. Is this a tyre stop? They need some fresh tyres for the end. So either the tyres are really worn, they're worried that they're just not able to finish with such a little grip, or so it's a safety stop, or they're trying to go for fastest lap.
They
not sure there's no point, so it's really just pride. Fastest lap at the moment is 1:31.040 by Sven Gilhead. So that's some time ago.
Kamadi's out. Kamadi's out. He's retired.
Oh, there was a more serious issue for Eric Kamadi. That's a big shame, actually, because I thought that was a great performance from Kamadi until that happened. But unfortunately, where's he gone? Yeah, definitely DNF. There he's in the garage.
That is a disappointment as well. That must be lingering damage from the contact at Druids as well.
And Peter Schumann had a brilliant fight though.
Yeah,
hopefully we can see that continued. Schumann won't be too far up the grid to my comparison, but
if ever the EERC bosses that put together the highlight shows wanted to clip race one,
this is the battle then. So this is who was. It's actually a battle for position between Schumann and Nick Homewood, who was caught back up to Peter Schumann.
Is he going to try? Homewood's going to try going on the outside. That is an amazing move if he can hold it. He's sliding the rears. My goodness me! That is a 9
from
out
Nick
of 10.
Homewood in the Vauxhall.
I'm just hearing Anton Chubek has actually fainted on the Strictly Come Dancing set. That was how good of a move that was. He's going to try up the inside this time as well. He's tapping the back as well. My goodness me.
You've got 10 minutes, Nick. You don't need to force him out of the way right yet.
Yeah, well, Nick's running 10 minutes behind, remember, as well, after what happened with the delayed.
Yes.
So he's thinking this is the last thing
helping set up the stream. So I think this is by far the closest battle on track. Kuzmiazek is about 2.5 seconds behind Nilsson and closing, so he should catch him before the end. Oh, and in comes. So the tyres were fading on Peter Schumann's car.
I did warn this half hour ago. We only usually do around about 20-25-minute races in the touring cars. These Dunlop tyres are not.
Well, the way these guys have been driving as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a test race, so may as well go flat out, right?
Yeah,
the logic. The only one who's really been pacing himself, Alawi arguably, and also Sven Gielhed especially, he's done this well. Although everyone else has pit, I think, because Coleman had to pit because of his penalty, but I'm sure he wouldn't have if he didn't have to. It's because Music drops below 2 seconds as we get into the 10 minutes remaining mark. Gielhed, 12 seconds in the lead, almost 13 actually, looking like he's going to go to a comfortable victory here, isn't it, for the first part of the meeting?
How much do you reckon his contract is nailed down? Do you think we can get him from our team? Because he's dominated in World Touring Cars, he's dominated in British Touring Cars. He is a great driver, isn't he, Sven Gielhed?
Yes, of course. Part of the runner-up, the one team that won the last 3 GD3 rounds in EERC for Iris in the number 7 cars. So they were a great performance. Sven Gielhed would be amazing to get him in our team. As Homewood cops a penalty for some reason or other.
I just find it comical every single time Homewood gets a penalty because he's one of the race directors on the endurance circuit as well. So it's just ironic.
Mistake from Stefan Nilsson. He goes wide into Druid, and Duran Kuzmierzik gets back up into 4th position. That he made that fairly easy for him, didn't he, Josh?
Well, you know as well as I do, Ed, as well, because you've been here. As Gielhed gets a penalty
for the leader. So we could have a battle on Josh in the last 8 minutes. Sven Gielhed's got to try and build up a big enough gap so that he can emerge not too far behind Nassim Alawi. Alawi potentially in a winning position now.
I just realised as well, Nick's in our commentary booth as well, actually on the stream as well, so he can hear everything we're saying. So.
Okay, well, let's try not to be too critical of our race director.
He's just coming into the pit.
There we go.
Pit lane.
He's coming into the pit, so he doesn't have to concentrate on driving. Oh, he's back out now. Yeah, get back on the throttle, Nick.
I do agree with you there, Ed, as well. This is going to be a battle for the last 8 minutes as well. The racing gods are going to give us a showdown.
There we go. Oh, so Alawi has not had a brilliant lap. The gap now about 15 seconds. Gielhed, the pressure is on now. So do you pit immediately like we saw Aiden Coleman do, or do you stretch this out for as long as you can and hope that you can emerge losing as least time as possible? Ideally, he wants to pit and then come out immediately ahead of Alawi.
Tyres are going to be going as well. Fuel's going to be critical. It's going to be very hard to get that gap back up. But at the same time...
Well, the problem is now, with the penalty, he can't pit for tyres.
Yeah, so
he's forced... Alawi could play a blinder here and pit for tyres and use the undercut while Gielhed's serving the penalty. That would be potentially a really clever strategy if Alawi is struggling with his tyres. Well, I suspect Coleman wasn't saving his tyres at all, and that's why he was able to close Alawi but get stuck behind him.
If I was a betting man, I would agree with you, Ed, and I would pit Alawi at the same time Gielhed comes in, put on fresher tyres and hunt him down.
Well, I would actually pit Alawi now, but it depends what state his tyres are in after defending, because I imagine he's kept them in pretty good nick. It didn't look to me when we were watching Alawi like he was pushing all that much. He was driving very Rubin himself. Yeah. And waiting for the straights and hoping that the Ford would do the work there. 17 seconds now. Gielhed's pushing, certainly.
18.
So he kept his tyres in the best nick and is now making full use of that. So another 2 laps then, and then he's got to come in, whether the race is over or not.
Just gained 3 seconds on that last lap. It started at 15 seconds. It's now 18. Now
I think he might pit just before on the penultimate lap at this rate with 6 minutes left remaining.
Or he's going to do a Michael Schumacher and pit on the last lap.
Well, I don't think you can, because you have to serve it within 3 laps if I remember right. So
I was just thinking that, isn't there a 3-lap rule? So he's done 1 rotation. Now this is the 2nd.
I've seen those wheels make several rotations, Josh. But he's done several circuits of the laps of the circuit or circuits.
Yes, you are correct there. I'd say he'd have to come in this lap. He's going to have to pit this lap. Alawi's going to have to push.
Well, he's got traffic. That might force his hand as well. The shredded wheat car in the way. That must be Perez struggling in... not struggling, in 7th position. He's recovered to 7th, actually.
Tell you what, though. Every time I saw that shredded wheat car when I was commentating on the touring cars, it was Matt Jackson, I think, had that car. Every time I saw it, I really was hungry. I wanted shredded wheats. And for some reason as well, you know those shredded wheats knitted by grannies? I got that advert in my head every single time, and it's just resurfaced to the top.
It reminds me of when the BMW was sponsored by eBay, and I had to get the urge to buy random tat off of eBay. Yeah. Looks like Gielhed's coming in, Josh.
Yep, so he had to come in this lap. Now, watch that clock as Boras gets his billionth penalty of the race. Watch Alawi.
Alloy,
he's
yes,
gonna
here he
catch-
is. Yes, he's going to comfortably catch Gearhead. Those 18 seconds weren't enough, but he will emerge with just under 5 minutes left in the race. So I think Gearhead could still win this thing, but it depends how well Alloy can manage this thing.
He's
Here
going to
we
come
go,
out side by
Nassim Alloy.
side.
Oh, here we go.
There he is. He's got
He
it.
takes the lead, and there's Gearhead. So the gap now is about 5 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is game on. Gearhold has been out front and had the advantage throughout the race as he kept the tyres in good enough nick. Alaquis had to attack, defend, and catch back up to Gearhold as well. The penalty helped, but this is really going to be, as you said,
Yeah, I think Alloy, there's no point really pitting now because he's really just got to hold on for the last 4 minutes. That's going to be at least 2 laps then, where Gearhead is going to throw absolutely everything at him. This is Aiden Coleman's situation all over again for Nassim Alloy. Can he take this win? It would certainly be a big outside the box upset, but Gearhead is going to be closing the gap. Only 2 seconds out. It was like 3.5 when they emerged from the pit lane. So already on this lap, Gearhead is using the fresher tyres to full effect here. It's right on board actually. And see what kind of see how much he's pushing in the Vauxhall.
Yeah, I'm actually disappointed nobody's chosen to run a BMW at this circuit as well, because they are monsters at this track. That would have been a smart call, but they've all gone Vauxhalls and a Mercedes.
I guess Sven Gearhead is sort of a bit fed up with the BMW because it's sort of they nerfed it in the endurance GT3 model. Schumann gets another penalty, so 9th it will be for Schumann. He's not going to catch Nick Coleman after all. Nielsen has dropped about 6 seconds behind Kuzmierzik, so Kuzmierzik looking good to finish in the top 4. But Sven Gearhead, he wants the win here. Nothing to lose. Look at that! Oh, sliding on the brakes. Those rear brakes are heating up, aren't they, Josh? As a penalty for Nielsen. Nielsen in 5th position, so he should emerge just in front of Eggert, who had to serve a penalty of his own.
20-second pit lanes, so he'll get about an 8-second gap.
Yes, but Gearhead is inching towards touching distance of Nassim Alloy, but has he got enough time left, Josh? I think Alloy I think if Alloy can, the final lap's going to be very, very tense, but as long as Alloy can force Gearhead onto unideal lines, then I think the Ford can hold on here.
Again, deja vu. The last race had a commentator done. United States Grand Prix, Verstappen and Hamilton. The gap on the last lap was a second, then 9/10 of a second, 8/10 of a second. It was all closing down. Homeward.
And of course, the big danger here is if Alloy makes any mistake, if he runs too far off track and gets another penalty, gets a penalty, because he's the only one who hasn't got one, I think, so far in this race, as Eggert does get in front of Nielsen, actually. So it was a more longer hit lane than we thought, I think.
Well, that's weird, because Gearhold got it in 20 seconds, and now it's 40 seconds for Nielsen, unless he's pitted for tyres, or he's just stopped in the pit box, and he hasn't actually taken his penalty yet. 33 point. He pitted. He stopped. 33.7 in the box. He's got new tyres.
And here we go. Gearhead's caught him. 2 minutes left, so it's going to be this lap and one more. But
Perez got a penalty.
Pressure, this is Perez penalty for Perez, but pressure on Nassim Alloy, and he's got traffic in the way. That's not ideal, Josh.
This is it. This is going to help massively.
Oh, it goes out the way though. Oh, down the inside goes Gearhead. Oh, had to back out of that one. But the angle was a bit deceptive there. It looked like he was much more further to the left than he actually was on the inside of Druids.
The camera angle's very low, give us a false perspective on what it is. As look at this. This is perfect. Actually, diving on the inside. It's going to have him. Oh, it's close.
Oh, into Surtees, and that's Gearhead's favourite corner. They are side by side. Alloy can do nothing about this unless he gets a decent run into Hawthorns.
Down through Pilgrim's Drop as well. He's got the inside line. This is not going to be good for Gearhold because round the outside of this part of the track, 9 times out of 10 it's contact, and it's going to be contact again.
Oh, there we go. No quarter given from Nassim Alloy. He's not going to make it easy for him at all.
Brilliant!
And he pushes him almost off track there.
The Shredder Reed's coming back into play as well. He's a lap down, but still.
Oh, he's having a great view of this, isn't he?
That's Schoolman, isn't it? Just going through the back as well. Gearhold is trying everything. They were side by side for the entire first sector. Now Gearhold's going to have a great run.
They're approaching the final lap, man. Gearhold's not going to get another opportunity. He needs to get through now, and Alloy just has to hold on for a little bit longer, doesn't he?
defending everything as well, but he's got a poor exit out of Clearways and Clark Curve down the Brabham Straight as well. The run towards Paddock Hill Bend. Now, this isn't going to be an overtaking spot because you're going to go right round the outside, control the wheel spin, put the car to the inside for Druids as well, and now push hard, use the aggression of the hill.
Oh, he's defended the inside, Josh. Look at that.
Trying to send it around the outside. If you can hold it as well, they have the inside into Graham Hill. It hasn't worked out for that one. Aliquay is not only defending for his life, he's defending for the entire kingdom of his team's EERC. The time is up.
There we go, and back to the inside again, and Geelhead right next to him. You can't separate these two, can you? Couldn't put a cigarette paper between them. But Geelhead fighting, twisting and turning. I nearly said twerking there, but that wouldn't be appropriate at all. But Geelhead really putting the pressure on as much as he can. I think there might not be enough road left to catch now, or pass indeed.
Hawthorne Bend. And then it's into Westfield, Dingle Dell. This is the 3 times they could do
trying
it.
the outside.
They
That's
touched.
not clever, Sven.
Oh, Gearhold's got him. He went too wide into Dingle Dell. Now through Sheen Curve. Oh, he's in Sterling's. Has to be at Sterling's. There's a touch again.
Oh,
big
both
slide
of them almost lost it there. And Gearhead round the outside. Is he going to have a run towards the line, Josh? I think he might.
Sterling's. It's going to be side by side.
It's going to come down right to Clearways, isn't it? Oh, almost off track there.
How are they still defending? They're into the last corner. He's gone round the outside.
Oh, no, he's got him round. Oh, it ends in disaster. But Geelhead goes towards the line, but he tacked the rear of Nassim Alawi just before through Clearways. But through the line, as Egger gets a penalty, Sven Geelhead takes the checkered flag. But disappointment for Alawi. He nurses his wounded car to second position. But it was so nearly the win. What a crazy finish, Josh.
That happened. Oh, and more.
It gets crazier. Coleman decides he's had enough. That's third for me.
These guys going to race in race 2 in a few moments' time. That happened on my very first commentary in the touring cars. 2013, race 1 at Brands Hatch. Jason Plato made contact with Matt Neal on the last lap at the last corner, and it's happened again right in front of me with Gearhold and Aliquay. That, in my opinion, Gearhold will surely get a penalty for that one, and Aliquay will be the race winner. That was just a dive bomb move and a position where it was never ever going to work. It's a single file corner, Clearways, and it always ends in disaster. And that was great racing, but bad tactics from Gearhold. For me, that was definitely Aliquay who's got that race win. Look, Egan is actually taking that penalty on the last lap before he crosses the line.
Very sneaky by Pascal Leggett, but everyone else. I think Pires was. Pires doing the exact same thing, so it wouldn't caught him anyway. But there we go. That's your finishing order, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see if we get any message if the stewards will change their mind about not doing any stewarding in light of what Sven Geelhead did to penalties to be turned off for the second race. So
oh my God.
So to be fair, though, I think what they might argue is that that happened in the first place because Sven got a corner cut penalty. That's why he was behind Alawi. But still, I don't think that really exceeds him pushing. But I think Alawi can feel proud of that drive.
Yeah.
There's no points on offer here for either of these races. But I think Alawi can feel extremely proud of both 2 defensive drives in that race, really. One against Coleman and the other against even more pressure against Geelhead. And he didn't put a foot wrong, really. So
we'll go message.
People annoyed, but...
Message on the YouTube chat saying that he shouldn't get a penalty. The leader didn't turn in. I've got the ability to rewind. So will I rewind, Ed? Do you want to take us through it? The results?
Okay, sure thing. I've just got to get the graphic up that shows the results. If I can. Mid-race results, we'll have to do for that, I guess.
Well, I've just got it on my screen now, actually. And while we just do that quickly as well.
Yeah,
Aliquay turns in. Gearhold's on the outside, and Gearhold is turning in more aggressively into the corner and makes contact with the rear of Aliquay. Aliquay's not even turning into him. So for me, that is definitely Gearhold gone for a move that was never on. Aliquay was turning into the corner, and Gearhold turned into the back of Aliquay. That is definitely, for me, a penalty for Gearhold. Aliquay's in the clear. Over to you, Ed.
Yeah, so the results then, provisional as they are, I guess, but I don't see any movement to change them at the moment, as we've been kicked from the server, unfortunately. Sven Geelhead takes the win from Nassim Alawi, Aiden Coleman, Duran Kuzmierzik in fourth. A great comeback, actually. We didn't really talk enough about that from the very back to fourth. Pascal Leggett takes fifth. Francisco Perez takes sixth. Nick Homewood will take seventh. Peter Schumann will take eighth. Stefan Nilsson ninth. Bence Boris 10th. And then let's anyone who DNF'd already is being allowed to start from pole. So we'll just go over to page 2 and see the remaining results. So these are going to be the pole sitters then, ladies and gentlemen, or the people starting near the front at least. It's going to be Anthony Nickpon, Tom Dillon, and Eric Kamady, who can potentially start from the very front of the field. Hopefully, we can see what Eric Kamady can do from the very front of the field, because I think he put in a very promising performance there. It'd be interesting to see if he could hold on in a high position. But I don't know how to get back into this server now, so I'm probably going to ask. We got 15-minute break now, so I might actually stop and go eat something for dessert from dinner.
Nice, yeah, take a little break.
But I'll just message Nick to let me know that I've been kicked out of the server. We've been kicked out of the server.
So yeah, it's very
actually
much like
he can hear us, can't he?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, Nick can hear us. He's probably swearing about to mute. Unmute the mic quickly enough. But yeah, 15-minute break before race 2, reverse grid. So Nick Pond's on there as well.
Server's being restarted. Yeah, sorry.
That's what's happening. Okay, that would make sense. Sorry about that. Okay, so like I said, I may as well actually get rid of the graphic, because it's still connected to the server, the graphic, I believe. So you should be able to see the timing of the warm-up, the 15-minute warm-up, while we wait. So let me just get rid of the...
Well, instead of a warm-up, it could be a cool-down for these guys as well, just to get the ride back in for the second race. Nice reverse grid coming up as well, and it's going to be very, very fun as well as the server just gets restarted.
Will, Josh. So I'll leave the audience at home in the capable hands of Joshua Birch. And the server screen while we wait to be let back into the server. It's refreshed, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes' time for race 2, which should be around about
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes. So come back at 8:45 for the grand finale of reverse grid, which is sure to be even more chaotic than what you just saw. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EERC touring car event, British touring cars at Brands Hatch. We just had race one. It ended in controversial circumstances, to put it mildly, between Nassim Alaoui and Sven Gielhed, with Gielhed spinning Alaoui around after a very tense battle in the last couple of laps. But Gielhed made a desperate move on the outside and got through. So we'll have to speak to Nassim Alaoui after the race and see what he has to say about that, and maybe what Sven has to say too. Certainly showing a brilliant defensive drive from Nassim Alaoui. Just look at Pascal Leggett just circulating in warm-up as we wait for the reverse grid to form. Should be Eric Kamady or Tom Dillon or Anthony Nickpon starting on pole, depending on who shows up, I guess. Anyway, I could probably check the stream chat as Pascal Leggett makes a real off-track excursion there. Alessandro Valente says Spen was screen sharing to me. Not really much you could do. Yeah, so I guess there's information we don't. Oh, Joshua's back.
Hello.
Joshua.
Hello.
Sorry, I just decided I'd start talking just in case people got bored.
No worries. I had to run off as well with the Sky F1 emergency. Isn't that always the way?
Oh yeah. I imagine just taping all the sessions and stuff like my dad does. Well, to be fair, not all the sessions.
Hang on, so do we. Do you do the same?
Yeah, well, usually we take well, I think we take practice and end up not watching it and end up just watching qualifying and the races. Although increasingly we got sprint qualifying these days, which complicates the matter somewhat.
I'm not looking forward to Sao Paulo.
Yeah, let's just go grin and bear it. I guess it's a shame that we can't have the 2022 cars introduced without gimmicks being introduced at the same time, which will completely undermine and negate the need for the 2022 changes should negate the need for all this sprint qualifying and nonsense, which doesn't actually add to the show. If in next year sprint qualifying is a success, it'll be entirely due to the 2022 cars allowing for better racing, not really for the format adding anything in of itself.
I put a tweet out the other day as well that Ross Brawn will just not let anybody criticise what I consider to be
It reminds me
baby.
a little bit of Alejandro Gag for how he was for a while with Fan Boost.
Yeah.
Because the Fan Boost, they haven't taken it down, it took him several years to sort of reluctantly admit, okay, maybe Fan Boost doesn't really serve its purpose anymore, and because we've got attack mode, which is the new baby, I guess. And it was the same also with Battersea. I really felt that he had a personal connection with Battersea, having lived there. That he wanted to turn it into a racetrack, and maybe it wasn't. As we see, XL, I think, showed this year already it was a much better venue for it, in my opinion, in terms of practicality and also a little in terms of racing, because you could actually, although people criticize the track at XL, you've got to remember Battersea, basically the only way to get through was to couldn't basically. I don't think there was any corner that could. You just watch on board with Buemi trying to overtake Bruno Senna, and it's kind of ridiculous, sort of just how much quicker Buemi is, but how there's no opportunity to pass. But of course, Buemi made the mistake. You know, I can understand the perspective of people like close racing, even if there's no overtaking. But I think there should be an opportunity at least, even because otherwise there's no difference between someone who just hogs the middle of the road and a good defensive driver.
Yeah, and I don't think as well the problem is with they're trying also. I'm gonna say, yeah, they're trying also, aren't they? To remove some of the hairpins and chicanes at the XL circuit, and I don't want them to, because I think that race was actually fantastic for what it was. because it was dramatic. We had new things, then we had slightly different things, and it provided.
Well, if they
us great racing.
reprofile and try it for a few different things with those chicanes, it could work
Yeah.
even better, is what I'm thinking. So I'm hoping that I think the idea is they also weren't quite sure what the speeds were going to be, so they sort of went a bit conservative with slowing the cars down. I think because originally the chicane was going to be the other way around.
Yeah, I don't know how that would have worked. Actually,
While we're talking about Formula E, we should mention our sister EERC Formula E Championship, which is about to get going, and guess who they've got to commentate on it?
Oh yeah.
Let's just have a look at the calendar if I can find it anywhere. Here it is. Pascal sent it to me. It is Berlin, Germany on 17th of November. Is going to be our season opener there for the 4th season of EERC Formula E. They've been doing it a while without us. And I know Jack Giornolano, our good friend, has competed in it in years gone by. Hopefully we can convince him to enter a team ourselves and convince him to drive for us. That'd be quite cool. Round 2, Santiago, Chile, 1st of December. Mexico City will round out the year, 15th of December.
Oh, they're on the grid. Sorry to interrupt you there. They're starting the race.
That's right. Then it's Zurich and Marrakesh, early bits of January. Where are we? There they are. Okay, let's go.
Loading in.
So
Kamedi's got pole. Okay.
Kamedi and Boris on pole as the grid is loaded in and the light's about to come out any second. Josh, you want to take the start?
I will indeed. Thank you, Ed. 3, 2, 1. Lights out, race on, good start for Kamedi. Boras has just got a little bit of a bad getaway. Nielsen's up into 3rd place. Homewood's made a good start, he's P4.
Big
crash in the
accident
back.
There. I think that was Aiden Coleman and Francisco Perez. There they are. But Kamedi holds on to the lead brilliantly there, Josh, but it's all kicking off right behind him.
More drama as well. Nielsen up into 3rd place. Homewood's getting pushed out wide as well. That's going to allow Skolmans to come back through as well. Diving on the inside. There's more contact. Takes out the camera. How about that for close to the track action? Boras is now into P2. Kamedi leads. And by my reckoning, by about 9/10 of a second again.
Oh, that was Peter Schoenman. That was Schoenman, yes. Being just punted around there by somebody as we see a bit of a... side by side further up, it's
more contact!
That was a Formula 3000 Johnny Herbert style accident there, wasn't it? Between Kuzmierzik and there's that Alawi. It was Alawi. Second racing again, Alawi gets it completely barged into.
Do you remember the message? No penalties in this race. They're turned off.
Exactly. Yes. Well, no corner cutting penalties. I think. Not sure if they'll actually be doing stewarding this time or not, but I guess this is all just for fun and just to try and get to the end. But Kamedi continues to lead by 1.2 seconds, but Nielsen all over the back of Pascal Leggett, who's got up to second now. But Leggett has
more drama. Yeah, he's looking at the back at the top of the picture as well. We had Boras getting a little bit sideways as well. He's got to run it now with Guillaume just coming in behind him.
Yes, Guillaume from the very back already up to 5th at the end of the first lap. And Leggett has a big moment at Paddock Hill Bend. And smoke rises off the rear. It's like when I do stop motion, I'm trying to show cars locking up or sliding around. You just all the cotton wool you can find and put that out the back of the car. But Leggett seems to have found the same cotton wool. And,
needs sellotape and glue to keep it up as well, kicking up some more dust as well. It's been brighter than what it was for race 1. Sunshine as well for race 2. Oh, and Kuzmiak is out.
Yeah, the damage was too great to continue, and I think Alawi just being repaired at the moment as Boras is now overtaken by Gilhead for 4th position into Surtees.
Well, that was certainly a dramatic start as well. Definitely some Formula 3000 style accidents as well. Johnny Herbert must have been watching that one with his eyes closed, or a bit like when people say about Vietnam.
Was it Wojtek, Gregor Wojtek, who actually caused that? I think he might be the more embarrassed party as Boris goes really wide and into the gravel. Through goes Nick Homewood.
So Homewood now up into P5. Coleman are coming through and then up as well. No, Coleman goes through. They're all changing positions so quickly here. And the gap between the race leaders, Kamedi now 7/10 of a second just ahead of Eggert at the moment. Gear holds back up into P3 and he's hunting them down. More dust being kicked up as Boris is going to get kicked out again. As Homewood
finding
goes
it
through.
It was Nielsen who got through before, sorry.
Right, so here comes Homewood now going through. Well, a new best lap time, 1:32.395, and that's by Kamedi as well.
But Egger is close to within 8 tenths, so he's not started this lap too well, Kamedi, actually. There's a big battle for the lead here between the three. It's Kamedi, Egger, and Geelhead. I think this could be a very tense scrap for the next couple of minutes, Josh.
This is going to be where the race is won or lost.
Wide by Kamedi. Just about collects that one. Wow, that's some good saves, but clearly the pressure on Eric Kamedi, and through goes Pascal Egger into the lead in the MG.
It's clearly Tango week for the judges. I'll give that one a 3 out of 10. But now this could be 3 abreast as they head down Pilgrim's Drop up towards Hawthorne Bend as well. Kamedi's got the inside line. Egger just edges him out as well. Gearhold can't find the right gear to be in. Has to back down too.
Gearhead has got 2 cars blocking either part of the road, but not anymore.
Last Tango in Halifax, anybody? This is unbelievable. Look at that. Kamedi got a big tank slapper.
Did you see Sven nearly did it again? He nearly tagged the Subaru around.
This is a contact sport. Let's just get that in.
Luckily, he's just able to avoid that one.
What's that thing Murray Walker used to say? There's a bit of dodging cars out there at the moment.
Oh, you're right there, Josh.
F1 97. Back on the accelerator then, coming out of the last corner. This is where it happens again. Egger's going to be a sitting duck. Kamedi's got the slipstream. Gearhold's got the slipstream. Just 7/10 separate them into Bannekill Bend.
Here comes Geelhead for second.
They haven't got the momentum through the corner. They're great under acceleration, but they're hopeless. Here comes Kamedi on the inside. Can't do it.
Kamedi's mistake earlier was really costly now because he's being horribly held up by Pascal Leggett. Boris goes wide and loses 2 positions there. But let's get back to the battle for the lead, which is clearly the most engrossing one.
Our cameras are getting a whacking out there today at the moment. Look at this.
I would question their placement then, Josh.
Yeah, Alpha Attitude should really change that one. Look at it, Kamedi looking to the inside as well. Gearhold's got the right line as well. He's got more power at the exit of Surtees. And look at this, down through Pilgrim's Drop. He's going to take the outside line. He might just be able to sweep across before coming into Hawthorne Bend as well. In fact, I think he might just switch across. Kamedi holds the inside line.
Eric's not going to let him through that easy, is he, Josh?
That is still side by side. Kamedi's going to break lanes, turn the inside of Dinkeldale.
But he's gone wide on the exit.
Come back on the inside, coming to Surtees. He's got him. Finally got him. Great move from Gearhold as well.
And off goes Kamedi.
Off goes the leader. Gets off as well. Gearhold's going to try and capitalise on that one, coming out of Surtees down towards Clearways. Take it, Ed.
So here we go. Geelhead, the man on the move, man on a mission. He wants to make it 2 in a row, doesn't he, Josh? But he's got Egger, the only one who can stop him now. And he's got 23 minutes to pass him, but I think he's not gonna need it, is he, Josh? Here we go around the outside.
This is amazing.
It's like a tectonic force. You can't stop him. But Egger's gonna throw everything he can and hopefully back him back into Kamedi. But I think Kamedi is definitely faster than Egger, but probably not faster than Geelhead. As Geelhead tries to go around the outside of Druids, all the way around the side of Egger. Is this going to work? He's got the inside for Graham Hill. Beautiful move there.
That is it. That's the touring car move as well. That was perfect positioning. Holding the outside line at Druids as well to get the inside line into Graham Hill. He was thinking ahead there. That's more like the gear hold we like to see as well. As Egger's gone wide.
Through goes Kamedi. Is Egger going to rejoin safely? Yes, and he's not going to get a great run. So this is going to let Kamedi stick to the back of Sven Geelhead. So Sven not completely out of the woods yet, but you've got to feel that was a much cleaner display from Sven Geelhead in these first couple of laps than in the last couple of laps. The last lap specifically that we saw. Though from what I heard in chat, that the people screen sharing with Sven said that it wasn't really his fault, that he got a little bit of screen freeze basically or something.
I see.
So what we saw wasn't necessarily
the correct
what Sven was seeing. So I don't think he meant to tag Sim Alloy around. But Alloy's still in the race, by the way, down in 10th. Nielsen is going for the pits, so Alloy a lap down, but could still make some ground up here. It's very tight further back actually between Homewood, Peter Schumann, and Aidan Coleman.
So this is look to the inside as well. Someone's going to try and go the inside of Coleman. Coleman defends as well. But
and that's Boros ahead of both of them. There we go. So we've got a 4-car fight here for 5th position. Little tap
that's
there
not
from
nice.
Peter Schoonman on Aiden Coleman. Is the Subaru okay, Josh? It's squiggling all over the place.
Rear suspension would be a little bit shocked there. The tyres would be a bit slower compared to the front. Boris made a mistake.
Yes, and now they're both going to go around the inside. It's a sandwich here.
Oh,
Who's going to come out of the sandwich, Josh?
I would say it's ham followed by the bacon as they come through, but it is going through with Coleman from Schoolman. Boris drops behind as well.
Oh, Schumann down the inside into Graham Hill. Oh, that was
Contact!
great.
Contact!
Oh dear, all three.
Oh no! Coleman hits Homewood. Coleman hit Homewood as well. He got a massive tank slapper and slammed into driver's door.
Oh, but Boris is the one really struggling. He's struggling
Yeah.
just to keep it on the circuit now. I think the Mercedes has come off worse with damage. Let's we're on board. See if the wheel is straight.
No, it's not. It's cranking. Look towards the left of the straightaway. So
Yeah,
he's
just a
got
little
damaged
bit.
suspension.
And Kamedi right behind Eggert, or he was. Where's Eggert gone? There he is. Oh, he was not right behind Eggert. That's actually misleading. He's made a mistake.
P2, yeah. 2 point.
P3. So yeah, but
What's happened there then? Because we're on board with Committee now. The gap now 2.9.
Big mistake
Oh
for
wow.
Peter Schumann. He just did all that good work to get him to 5th place, and now he's gone well off the road and emerged just in front of Homewood. What was
Homewood's on
that?
attack
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Nick Homewood looking for a top 5 finish. That would be quite a boon for him. But,
Well, he did have to turn the penalties off for race 2 for corner cutting, didn't he? Everybody is using the track to their full advantage. It could be a mistake, but it's giving us more exciting touring car racing.
It certainly is. I feel a bit sorry for Francisco Perez. He's having another quiet run with no one around him, really.
Oh, so it's Gearhold, really. He's now 3 seconds of. What is it with Gearhold as well? He is just so fast, no matter what you put him in. He just gets to the front and just goes. I've never seen a driver like it.
Yeah, he's certainly keen in these touring cars. It would be interesting to see how Sven Gilhed would go in a LMP2 team because he's certainly proven himself in GD3 time and again as we see the battle continuing to heat up.
Homewood's on the inside! Oh, that's a late move, but he thought about it.
Oh,
Homewood's
and Coleman
pushing.
has got down the inside of Boros just before Surtees, but now Boros trying to come back at him, but not going to quite get enough of a run. So I think Boros will have to settle for 8th, but he's squiggling all over the place. And Mercedes got brilliant straight line speed, and Eggert continues to be attacked by Nick Homewood.
Well, it's just all action
Schoonman,
in
sorry,
the midfield. Oh yeah, Schoonman.
Schumann is being attacked, and Alawi, 2 laps down, I think, is just caught up to the back. Yeah. As now Homewood has got through. There we go. Oh!
No.
Almost immediately blew it though.
Might
So
have.
they're just about holding on.
Schumann's in the gravel. He's gone too deep at the exit.
That's 2 laps in a row.
Oh,
Somebody's
another
not handling
camera.
too well with that MG. Let's have a look. How's the wheel look? Not too bad.
You can't
Doesn't-
tell mainly.
Yeah, let's have a look at we'll keep seeing his performance, but Coleman is going to be next in line to attack him, isn't he?
Into Paddock Hill Bend, the run up towards Druids. That's the great one. If he can
And
find
Eric
it.
Kamedi has been struggling a bit last couple of laps. He's Perez is now only about 2 seconds behind him. He's
What?
just about 10 seconds behind Pascal Leggett. So there he is. Definitely the Subaru, not the easiest car to drive, and that shredded wheat Ford is going to be all over him like a cheap suit if he's not careful. But Kamedi just needs to keep it on the road, and a podium is still up for grabs here for the popular driver.
I wonder what happened to the sun that we had when this race started 12 minutes ago. It's gone very dark once again. The clouds have come over Brands Hatch, as it always does. That's going to lower the track temperature, though. So
It's a winter simulation, Josh.
Oh, of course,
It
yeah.
gets dark earlier.
Oh, we'd be getting.
Look at this behind Peter Schumann. It's Coleman, and Ali's trying to unlap himself.
That's perfectly legal, of course, but it's disruption.
Aiden Coleman, not like this at all.
You know, he's about on the verge of shouting and hitting his steering wheel at this point as well. He's drifting
through.
now.
He's clearly the much faster driver.
Oh, saying that. A little bit wide. Coleman goes back on the inside line.
Not for
Just
position,
holding
of
it.
course, but
It's fun anyway.
over the inside they go. As
Who's
looks
that?
like Boros is desperately trying to catch back up to Aiden Coleman, and now that Coleman's being held up, that's backing him into Ben Boros.
Well, Boris is going to have. He had a bad race 1 with all those penalties. Now that they've been turned off, he's having an okay race 2 in terms of the fact he's actually going to battle for position for the first time here tonight. So he can really start attacking the back of Coleman now. And Gilhold's got 4.9 seconds
we're
now.
almost halfway through the race then.
Wow, that's gone quick.
Kamedi has sort of stopped the hemorrhaging time. He's now 9.6 behind Eggett, but Eggett is, like you say, nearly 5 seconds behind Gilhead. So, as we see Alawi going very wide, trying to get the biggest run he can to try and catch back. His next in line for Alawi has got to be, who's in front of Coleman? Schumann, of course. Schumann is being dropped by Nick Homewood.
Battle on once again. Homewood, I said 1 point, as you say, Ed, 1.6 seconds
And
ahead.
you have to say, once again, full mark sportsmanship-wise to Alawi, because you could forgive him for rage quitting after being spun out of the lead on the final corner last race. You could also forgive him for quitting, retiring after being spun by Kuzmierzik on the first lap of this race. But he's kept going a lap down and slowly starting to unlap the field. Could he unlap Sven Gilhid before the end? Unlikely, but you never know.
I don't think anybody can catch Gearheld.
They're not fighting him too hard, are they? Look,
no.
Oh, well, actually, almost finds himself in the gravel. It's like a rerun. Oh, and there we go. Coleman fancies to go through. So now Coleman is fighting Peter Schumann for position, while Alawi is sort of trying to be next to the both of them. So Alawi's stopping Aiden Coleman now from gaining a position rather than backing him up.
Oh, this is what happens when there's no blue flags or penalty rules either. It just messes up the racing. Oh, and Coleman's got a lot of damage. Look, you can see the suspension.
Yeah, there we go. He's going to get a bit more in a moment.
More drama, more contact as well. That Subaru should not be turning that much. He should be in the pit wall if that angle's correct. The car's now straight again. He's suffering with suspension damages, Coleman.
Yeah, that's why we saw him twitching too. But he's been able to adapt and close in on Peter Schumann. So top marks to Aiden Coleman for effort. He could still catch Nick Homewood as well before the end.
His
Look
wrists.
at this.
God bless his wrists. I tell you, that's going to be agony at the end of this one.
Yeah, and look at this. Alawi again. Schumann doesn't like being unlapped. Oh, and he's paying the price for it. Here comes Aiden Coleman then. Is he going to try to go around the outside at Surtees? That's the only option available. He brakes late, squirms as the steering puts him off a bit.
Oh, he's got him! Oh, that's a good exit power as well. Beautiful move from Coleman. Schumann just sort of defended too late. He was a bit of aggressive coming back on the track. They're still side by side.
Oh, it's not over yet, Josh.
It should be
He's going to have to hold on down the inside. Oh, look at this.
Oh, no! That's a bit too much.
They barge into the side of another, and Coleman always has to shake himself back into shape there. And, so Schumann holds on.
I'm going for first, says Coleman. I can imagine right now. Oh,
he's got to have one hand to hold his damaged steering and the other to make an obscene gesture.
One seat for lunch, I think you'd find, as they come back through into Sterling.
Oh, look at this, Schumann really struggling. Let's see if we can look on board. Schumann, his steering looks pedestrian by comparison, doesn't it? It's all action in the Subaru. And now the windscreen wiper's being waved. Has it started raining?
It must have. That reminds me so much of Talladega Nights. We've got Ricky Bobby being Aiden Coleman here. He's attacking front. And we've got...
Kamedi's in the pits.
So he's wet tyres.
Wet tyres. Yes, it must be. So immediately he knows which way this is going to go. I think we're going to see cars sliding off track very soon.
This is going to be worse.
Benz Boris into paddock. Let's see how this goes. Oh, okay, so far. Let's see how the leader is doing. Is he going to pit too? He goes through untroubled, but Coleman continues to harass Peter Schumann. Oh, here we go.
There we go again.
Schumann went really wide at the exit of Graham Hill Bend, and Coleman once again having to really set a move up here.
Oh, he's sliding
through the inside. All that moisture is not helping, is it?
This is going to get worse as well. Right now, it's psychological rain, but as the track gets wetter, it will affect the grid.
Still 12 minutes left in the race. You're a brave man. You think you can hold on dry tyres. Let's see. Maybe the gamble will pay off for Eric Kamedi. He was in third place.
Boris is off. He's had another spin, so maybe the track's getting wetter down at the exit of.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised to see Boris diving into the pits then at the end of this lap.
It's getting close now, isn't it, as well?
Have we been joined in the commentary box by another entity? Let's see who that is. It is, of course, Adam Thompson. Hello, Adam.
Hello. How are we all doing?
You just joined us for the final 12 minutes of this reverse grid race from Brands Hatch. And it's being led by Sven Gilhead to the tune of 9 seconds, but it has just started raining. And
I see that.
Francisco Perez coming into the pits.
Yeah. They're all coming in, Ed. They're all coming in.
So has Eric Kamedi played it right? No, he's DNF. So Eric Kamedi on the wet tyres has crashed immediately coming out of the pit. So another DNF for Eric Kamedi, sadly, which is disappointing for him. But he has shown some great promise in these test races. As you see, the pit lane getting very busy now. Has the rain stopped though, Josh?
If it has, this will be great for Sven Gearhold as well. I can't see any raindrops. I think it's dry.
No, it's still raining. It looks like, as we saw that onboard, we're seeing those rain droplets continuing to hit the windshield of these cars.
So who's going to be the first car on wet tyres? It may be Peter Schumann then, if he can get out of the pits quickly enough. But Perez, I think, was the first to pit out of this group. There, Perez is just coming out. Yeah.
Let's see what his lap times are then. The sector times you have to watch. As I said though, Coleman definitely playing Ricky Barbie with Peter Schumann playing Jean Girard in that battle as well. We've got the angry, aggressive Coleman and the calm Frenchman of Jean Girard in Peter Coleman as well. So nice little one there.
I'm pretty sure Peter Schumann is that as Peter goes. Is that Peter just getting by Francisco Perez actually?
Yeah.
So perhaps the wets are not the tyres to be on. Yeah, let's look at these first lap out of the pits. Perez, I think, it hasn't shown up yet, actually.
Oh, but Eggert's off from P2. He's gone through the gravel exit of Paddock Hill Bend.
Yes, and I think Eggert was not one of the ones to pit, though, so that could be some moisture that's just catching him out. Let's see, there's Perez, and he's got Peter Schumann ahead of him.
Let's try again.
We'll have to see if the rain comes back, but if it doesn't, then this is going to look very silly, unfortunately. So the gamble didn't pay off for Kamedi. Looks like it may not pay off for who else pit. And Homewood is running third at the moment after all that. So Homewood is the only one who's been able to make this work. Did he just pit for another set of dry tires? He's still on the green tires. It's the blue ones, the wet ones. Oh no! Oh, it was Nielsen.
Oh,
goes off into the gravel in 8th position at Paddock Hill Bend. So clearly. Struggling there with 10 minutes left in the race, and is that he's on the green tires as well, I think. So I'm not sure what the compound is in this.
You gotta wonder here if there's just some wet patches throughout Brands Hatch here, especially in that first turn.
Does tend to hang in the trees, but they're there. The first turn there tends to be the big sticking point. Perez continues. He's still about half a second behind Peter Schumann. But the pace has been quite similar. I actually think Perez might be slightly faster if he can get through, but those wet tyres, they're not. Once the moisture goes, Perez is going to be a bit of a sitting duck here, isn't he?
This is going to get very interesting. 9 minutes, 20 seconds to go on probably one of the most electric tracks in the world, Brands Hatch. Watching these touring cars just absolutely go around here, it's awesome to see this.
Yeah, we've seen some brilliant racing already today. I recommend you. Oh, as we see Perez, the grip is gone from those wet tyres. I think we might see him in again soon. Definitely great. Like you said, great to see them going flat out side by side through several sections of this track, Adam. So Geelhead is now got the gap up to 15 seconds, and Geelhead incidentally also won the race 1, the qualifying race. After spinning out Nassim Alaoui, they turned off penalties for this race because Geelhead got a penalty, was leading by miles, got a penalty yet to serve, came out behind Alaoui. Alaoui defended like crazy and was looking good to win until the very final corner of the race where he got spun around on the outside, which was a bit unfortunate. I don't think Geelhead intended to do that, and people who screen sharing said that it was just a mistake. So it looks like he's going to be able to keep the victory because, of course, there's no real stewarding in these test races because there's no points on offer. But that won't be the case when we actually get the support races going next year with the EERC calendar. Hopefully, at the very end, we'll be able to announce the actual calendar for EERC, which will be because we'll be doing these in sort of I forget which weekday it is. I think it's the Thursday before the race. We'll be doing these.
I read it as Thursday. Yeah. I mean, we've seen a draft version. Can't say anything, but we've seen a draft version. Looks very exciting, and I can't wait if that calendar gets made official. As soon as Nick has made it official.
Another move moves Pascal Leggett into Paddock Hill Bend. So Geelhead continues to stretch his advantage. Homewood is 24 seconds down on Leggett, but Leggett keeps making mistakes. I think Homewood might just get to catch him before the end, but it's a big if. Homewood doing a really solid. I think he's done an amazing recovery job in this race. He's been the man on the mission. Here he is.
We're never going to live this down, guys.
Is he the guy who went on the? No, he just pitted for another set of greens.
Oh.
You see Schumann going off and having a little kiss with the barrier. I think Schumann and and Perez are both on the wet tires because there's
They
a
are
blue
blue,
compound.
blue wets. Yeah, blue or
Yeah.
wets.
So it's quite even between these two, but the track looks increasingly bone dry now. So I think I'm surprised neither of them have come in to change back and realize the error of their ways.
Using my memory, I think the blue are the wet tires, the green are the option tires, and the white are the primary
that's
tires.
deep into Druids for Stefan Nilsson in the Ford. The focus refocuses and gets out of Druids. But Perez still right behind Schumann. That's the big battle already for 6th. You can see the leader, I think, coming over the belt to lap them.
Well, you know what?
As Boros just ahead of them has made another mistake, so we're going to see a battle for 5th position between the 3 of them, I think.
You know what Ford stands for, right?
Fix or repair daily.
No, found on the roadside dead.
Oh, look at this. Perez really about to put a move on Peter Schumann. So Schumann's held on for as long as he could. Oh, what? Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's up.
He was hiding behind him. The
Peekaboo.
camera angle was a bit deceptive. As Perez goes up the inside at Surtees, or does he? No, he doesn't. He decides to slow down so he can be lapped by the leader. So Geelhead is going to come through then.
There he goes. Gearhold's just, what is it, 20 seconds? My goodness me.
Yeah,
We
so
don't-
Gil had risked it all here without going to that wet tire and pitting, and now he's benefiting from it now because that little rain squall didn't produce much.
It's like when we had it in the United States Grand Prix in qualifying. We had a short little burst of rain in Q1, Q2, whatever it was. And
Oh, Schumann going wide.
wet tires. He's
Yes.
got to pit.
Well, both him and Perez are on the wet. I think they're sort of at this position where, hey, we're both on the wet tires. I'll stay out if you stay out. Okay, let's have a bit of fun. Why don't we?
It's going to be like driving with chewing gum. Really sticky, melted, sat in a car in
Well,
40-degree weather.
Peter and Francisco seem to be very keen to show us how good they are in deliberately engineered low grip conditions.
Yeah.
Wait,
How's
okay,
it-
if the rain won't fall, we'll just wait till it does.
Well, how's our Subaru friend doing with the broken steering? Where is he at? Is
Aiden
he...
Coleman is still running in 4th position, about 16 seconds behind Nick Coleman. Coleman's closed a couple of seconds on Pascal Leggett. But not looking too likely to catch up before the end in the next 4 minutes or so. We're getting into the very final stages then.
He's in a world of his own, just saying shake and bake over and over again. He's getting sectioned after this race.
Yeah, let's look on board, see if they actually repaired the steering. Nope, they didn't at all. So that was not the case.
I heard he's got out of his place seat and he's now running around saying he's on fire, but nobody can actually see it.
Okay, so Perez has dropped a little bit as Nilsson... looks like Nilsson has hit trouble and Alloy has finally been able to overcome him. Did Alloy go for the wet tyres? Yes, he did actually, surprisingly, and he's still on them. Here he is. So he had got taken out on the first lap and his gamely, I think, continued on.
Keep on attacking. Gearhold's got 22.9 second advantage at the moment. Here's Nick Homewood. Yeah,
And here's
gaps to
Perez.
20.
Oh, I don't see Peter Schumann ahead of him.
No, you're
So
right.
has Perez made another mistake? Oh,
There he
Schumann
is.
in the middle of making a mistake as we cut to him. And on those wet tyres, it really is no wonder. Look, you can barely get into the corner. They're understeering like crazy.
They have
Or-
got to pit.
And is Boros on the wets? I don't think he is, actually.
He's on greens.
Yeah, so Boros is on the
No,
better
yellows.
yellow. So
Yeah.
Boros is on better tyres, dry tyres, but on the wet tyres, Schumann and Perez have been catching because that's how many mistakes Boros has been making in this race.
Yeah, Boris on the mediums.
Boros really in a position to hold on, really, just goes to make sure that Peter Schumann doesn't get ahead. I wonder if there was some point where they realised they stayed on the wet tyres so long, the rain wasn't coming again. Like, if we pit again, we'll lose more time than staying out, potentially. Peter Schumann's thinking, if I pit, then the only person I'll be able to get back in front of is Perez, who's on the same tyres as me. Oh, as Peter Schumann goes wide again, and here comes Perez. What kind of run is he going to get? Oh, easily through then, before they get to Surtees. Perez will take sixth position from the MG. Oh, and he almost bumps Peter Schumann wide. Peter Schumann tries to go to the Indy circuit, but thinks better of that.
Wrong track, my friend. Wrong track layout.
He's
to be
doing
fair,
a
Perez
jump
was
turn.
sort of on the inside, and the wet tyres didn't give him a whole lot of grip. As Nilsson returns to the pits. I think he might have been one of the runners who's repenting and regretting his decision.
Well, what a drive out of that corner from Perez there. I mean, I didn't even expect him to get the grip down that quickly, and he really found some grip.
Okay,
out of
2
that.
minutes to go. So the only thing left, the question left to answer in this race is, can Perez catch and can he pass Ben Sporos? So Perez having a much more exciting race than the first race, where he sort of was on his own for almost the entire race and finished, I think, 5th or 6th. And now he's got Boros he could potentially catch right at the end on the wrong tyres, it must be said. But if you look on board with him, he's been driving pretty well. So all these teams, and all these drivers rather, putting out the shop window for what they can do. And hopefully we'll see them all signed up to teams and competing in the Touring Car Series next season. We do still need a second driver for Hunter Birch Simulation. We have got our lead driver. Well, I say lead driver, but that's only because we haven't got a second driver yet. But we certainly want two, is what I'm trying to say. As we see Perez continue on. But I think the problem is Boris has got too much grip down the corners and the straights compared to Perez. So Perez is faster, but the car isn't, the tyres aren't giving him enough grip.
Are you saying we might have a commentator's team here?
Oh,
yeah,
we indeed do.
And we promised the second driver would not be treated like Perry McCarthy.
Well, in terms of sent out on wet tyres, although, Schumann decides to bail. He's been, no, he's carrying on a fresh set of wet, so his previous wet's burnt out.
Well, to be fair, I did give the team strict instructions to only give him wet tyres.
They've only got wet tyres left. They have to save money for some reason.
Did we make sure his seatbelts are loose?
Oh, it's the Andrew motor all over again. The next every time the steering column's broken, or is that Aiden Coleman's car?
Oh no, Gearhold!
Sven Geelhead. Oh, who was that? Who was lapping? That was Aloy who was lapping.
Revenge right there. Just saying.
Revenge at the death. Oh, and is Geelhead going to get to do another lap here? Yes, he is, and
2
so
seconds.
will Aloy. So Eggert's race is about to come to an end then. 31 seconds down, so it's going to be second place then for Pascal Leggett in the MG, and a very good drive, I think, actually.
Will he be credited as a lap down then? Because Gearhold's going to get another lap on the board.
I think it will technically be the same lap.
Right. Let's hope so.
We'll see. But Eggert crosses the line and takes podium position. Great reverse good work. It's Peter Schumann all over the road, so the wet tyres haven't become any easier. No, because the winner hasn't crossed the line yet, so that wasn't it for Pascal.
Right, okay, we've still got another lap.
The Gearhead is about to, well, that's Homewood, sorry. Here's Gearhead.
There we go. Teammates,
at the back end of the circuit. Yeah, both in the Vauxhall. Homewood, though, it's going to be a double podium for Vauxhall with Homewood. He did cut the gap to Eggert to 17 seconds, so very impressive drive by our race director, Nick Homewood, already a race winner this season in EERC and dramatic circumstances at Mugello.
We're never going to live this one down, guys. Homewood has finished on the podium in a touring car race. He's going to be gloating about this one.
Apologies for the bad language from the party goers you may have heard in the background of Adam's commentary.
Party's already started.
Yeah, but they're very excited, and why shouldn't they be? Because here comes Sven Geelhead through the last corner at Clearways. It's going to be 2 wins in a row. This time, you can't argue that he didn't deserve it. Here he goes towards the line. Sven Geelhead makes it 2 from 2 at Brands Hatch, and immediately...
that's a nice drift.
Go crazy. Oh, but a beautiful drive from Sven Geelhead, and totally deserving winner of the second race, the reverse good race of the meeting. Here's Pascal Leggett, who will finish a distant second, 33 seconds down. But still, as Aloy is also finished as well, down in 8th position.
Homewood's going to get second. He's in the barrier. He's going to catch him up, surely.
Oh, dear. This is right near the end, isn't it?
Where's Homewood? Eggert's going to try and carry on.
There he is. I think Eggert's going to make it. There he goes across the grass. A careless mistake to end things. But Eggert's only got to go a few more meters.
To
finish. Oh, you sound disappointed for Nick. There's Nick Homewood. Just falls short of the line. Pascal Eggert takes second position. Nick Homewood takes third.
2.4.
And now we've just got to wait for Aiden Coleman to finish. Ben Boros and Francisco Perez have already finished in 5th and 6th respectively. Coleman will finish 4th, and then it's Peter Schumann who will finish 7th. Next, in fact, that's Schumann just ahead of him. Yes, there he is. So Schumann will finish 7th. Aiden Coleman will finish 4th. A brilliant result for him.
They crashed!
Oh, there we go. Synchronized swimming, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to make it to the line first? It is
Reversing.
Peter Schumann reverses over it. And Aiden Coleman, if his steering was not already damaged, it will be completely obliterated at this point. Let's look on board.
Shake and
Oh
bake,
dear.
baby. Shake
It's a
and
good
bake.
thing that's the right-hand corner, because that's a more than 45-degree steering angle, which is not what you do in a straight line, ladies and gentlemen. And he's also in reverse gear as well. The Subaru... Oh! That's
Olaf.
Eggett's car that's lost a wheel somewhere.
Well, I did say this was like Talladega Nights. I didn't expect them to actually drive backwards. I mean, that's just giving it too far. I have been told, however, by the stewards that Coleman was driving that race with a tiger in the back and cocaine strapped to the underneath of his car whilst being chased by Nick Homewood.
So let's go over the final results then very quickly. Victory for Sven Gielhed in the 66 Power Max Racing Vauxhall. But it's Pascal Leggett in second. Nick Homewood in the other Vauxhall takes third position. Aiden Coleman power slides his way the whole race through to fourth in his damaged Subaru Mobile, sorry. Ben Boros, as we see him in the background, messing around. I think he's just coming in the pit lane. He finishes fifth, an excellent result for the Sicily Motorsports Mercedes. Francisco Perez takes sixth. Peter Schumann takes seventh. Nassim Alaoui, after such a horrible start, did brilliantly to continue gamely, and I think he would probably be one of my other standout drivers at the meeting. Him and Sven Gielhed were easily two of the best, and took second, just robbed really a victory at the end, really, he may feel, in the first race, but still a great sportsmanship he showed to continue. Ninth for Staffan Nilsson, who had his own troubles, but still all the same continued. And then the first of the DNFs, Eric Kamedi, very disappointed to gamble on the wets. It just didn't pay off, and he was running third at the time. I wonder if he should have stayed out and stuck with it, but them's the breaks, and he'll learn from the experience, hopefully, because whoever hires him in the future will certainly have a big talent on their hands. And for the other DNFs, here they are. It's just the one. It's, of course, Duran Kuzmierzik, who hit Alaoui at the very beginning. So, unfortunately, that is going to be basically a lot from Brands Hatch, but a great evening's racing. So, to sum up, Josh, are you excited now for the season ahead?
Absolutely. I think we should keep the British touring cars and forget the world touring cars. Let's have it as the British touring cars set up. That worked the best. It gave us the great amount of racing. I think race 1 was amazing. Race 2 was absolutely chaotic. Brands Hatch once again delivering us some great racing. And I can't wait to see British touring cars on world circuits. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm buzzing now for the support series on a Thursday. A good way to wet your whistle for some motorsport action. And certainly it's got my tooth back in action after a week of surgeries for it. So I feel warmed up for the weekend. Don't know how you two feel.
I feel pretty good.
It's
been a busy day for me, and great that you could join us at the end there, Adam. Are you excited for touring cars coming to support the endurance racing? It's much shorter, that's for sure.
It's a much shorter race. It's a lot easier to keep focused up for sure for the commentators especially. But man, what some great side-by-side racing we saw there. We were seeing guys really go for moves that you wouldn't quite see on an endurance championship
like
race.
Wet tires on a dry track.
Yeah, wet tires, or I mean, if we can get weather to cooperate maybe a little bit more. I was hoping for a little more rain after that. So
I'm sure they were too, which is why they pit. But anyway, we don't quite have the calendar ready to announce yet for EERC touring cars or endurance, but we do have the calendar for Formula E EERC, the 4th season, which starts on the 17th of November in Berlin, Germany, before going to round 2, Santiago, Chile on the 1st of December. Then the final race of the year will be Mexico City, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, the sort of Formula E layout, on the 15th of December 2021. Then the season ends with 2 races in January, Zurich in Switzerland on the 5th of January, and Marrakesh in Morocco on the 19th of January 2022. So, look forward to that. Me and Josh will be commentating, and you're welcome to join us as well, Adam, if you happen to be around on the days we do those.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping, especially that Formula E championship. That should be a great championship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Is it possible, by the way, Nick, that we could get interviews in? I'd be interested to hear what Nassim Alaoui has to say.
Yeah, let's drag him in.
All right. Okay.
User was moved to your channel.
We've just been joined by Nassim Alaoui, who put in some brilliant performances today, and who's also just happens to still be around, so I thought I'd have a word with him. So, Nassim,
Yeah.
let's talk about that first race to start with. It started off with a defensive drive against the Subaru driven by Aiden Coleman, which you did brilliantly, and then you dropped Aiden and had a very interesting fight with a very controversial finish with Sven Gielhed after Gielhed had the penalty, and you just got out ahead. So describe both of those defensive drives for us, because one went really, really well, the other went really, really well until the very final corner of the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna, he's salty, he turned into me. I'm just kidding.
Well, it's a good thing there were no points on offer, at least.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have protested like crazy. I'm just kidding.
Well, they would have been stewarding as well, but apparently people who are screen sharing with Sven said that he didn't see what you and us were seeing, so he obviously misjudged it.
No, I'm good with it. It's all right. It's because I'm proud of my defending. I think I did what I can do best, which is defending. Well, it didn't go well because I don't know. He just decided to turn into me somehow.
It felt to me in that first race, by the way, in the sim, that you were saving your tires a lot.
Yes, I was.
They seemed to be really good nick by the end. There wasn't a lot that Sven could do.
Well, if I tell you I wasn't saving it so I can battle with him at the end, that'll be not true. But it just, I got lucky somehow, and then I ended up with him. I ended up in the front, but he was somehow quicker than me. I mean, I couldn't keep up with that pace he was putting. But I believe like when he tried to turn, he just, I don't know, it was intended to be cut back, or I don't know, because you know, I got something when I'm on the inside, I'll be on the inside on the exit as well. I'll be slow, but she'll be behind me, you know. I'll just give you some, you know, make it spicy for you.
Yeah, and we saw you had that horrible incident at the start of the reverse grid race on the straight, the back straight against Durand, I think it was, who spun you around, and you both sort of destroyed each other.
Yeah,
and it was a bit really unfortunate. So I think you could have been completely forgiven for abandoning the race after that, but you kept with it and ended up getting 8th place. You did catch who was it before the end of the guy in 9th?
It was Nelson, I think.
Nelson, yes, Stefan. So
Yeah.
you did beat Stefan in the end, which is something. So
Yeah,
I think that was good sportsmanship you showed there.
I'll take that. Yeah, I mean, when I got, I think his car got caught into my bumper. Maybe I turned into him a little bit more than I should have, maybe. But I just spun, the race was over. But what threw me off was the rain. I don't know what,
That threw a lot of people off. You were the one to pit for wets, weren't you?
Yes.
Because Perez and Schumann, I think, also pit for wets, and they decided to stick it out. In fact, Schumann pitted for an extra set of wets at the end, and then immediately spun.
I'm gonna go to a corner and cry about it for the night, because I got like people from my team telling me to stay out, in. I'm like, no, I'm going in.
That's confusing. Yeah, you need good guidance from the team in a situation like that, as I'm finding out as a new team owner. When the season starts. By the way, are you in discussions with any team, or are you going to go as you're an independent entry?
No, because
I'm saying your name correctly, by the way, Alaoui instead of Alaoui.
It is. I mean, I first time I heard it, it threw me off. It was so funny.
I heard, yes.
Yeah, and it's all right. It's all right. You can say it however you want. I'm okay with it.
I've been teaching the other commentators to do it properly as well.
Yeah.
Josh has struggled hearing
yes.
that.
Yeah.
Aluquai, I heard a couple of times.
It's Alaoui. I like my teammate has been calling me Alaoui for the whole week. Which
because it's me, yes. Anglicizing your name.
It's all right, all good. Yeah, but the race was fun. I enjoyed it. The first one, obviously. The second one was just surviving. But it was fun overall. It was fun. Nothing, no hard feelings.
Well, I look forward to commentating on more of your races again, Nassim, because you're clearly a big star of the future as far as touring cars are concerned in EERC. So I hope we see more amazing defensive action, because it was amazing fun to commentate on.
Yeah, well, you're in for a big surprise. That's
Any questions for Nassim, or did we cover everything?
I think you've covered everything, Ed. Just another great racing we've had all day, and thanks for putting on a great show for Thursday.
Indeed. It was beautiful. I think I had a battle because I had to defend somebody who was behind me who was on P3. I don't know who that guy was.
I
But,
think it was
yeah.
Nick Homewood.
Homewood.
Yeah, here he is now, actually.
Oh,
What? Hello?
You finished P3, Nick.
I did.
Nassim was just talking about lapping you and you holding him up or something.
I was trying to keep it on track. My steering was not
Yeah.
straight, to say the least.
I hope I was fair to you. That's how I'd say. I hope I
Yeah,
was
well,
fair.
I didn't notice that you weren't. So.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
All right.
No, it's all good.
So,
I know.
Nick, do you have anything to? Do you want to do anything say anything to the audience before we close the stream for the evening, or have you just had a good time?
I've just had fun. I got to go back and look at everything that's happened now and work out what we can change for.
Okay. You sure we
Me.
can't announce the calendar officially yet? I guess because we have to
No.
wait on the endurance guys as well.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Okay.
Hopefully soon.
But anyway.
But I'll tell you what, I enjoyed the WTCC more for some reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I actually did enjoy that more.
Which cars do you prefer, though? These ones or the other ones?
No, the other ones for sure. I'll
The
take
World
that
Touring
better.
cars, yeah.
But on any day, I'll take that. I'll take the WTCC.
Okay. Well, there'll be a form going up, so
All
let's
right.
see what
Well.
people think.
We'll see. We'll see who's in the majority and who's in the minority, I guess.
I'm probably in minority for now.
Me and Josh will probably try not to interfere with the vote too much, being team managers rather than
Yeah, you can vote. You can
Oh,
vote.
yeah, that's a point. I forgot
Okay,
about
we'll
that.
completely rig the vote in our favour. British
Yeah.
touring cars all the right.
I much preferred the touring cars from a fan's point of view as well, from a team
Well,
manager's
they're
point of
both
view.
touring
it's probably
cars,
gonna be
Josh. World touring cars and British touring cars. They're
Yeah, I
both
mean
touring
the
cars.
British touring car version was much.
Okay.
It's much better than the World touring car.
Okay.
It
From a
close track
spectator,
action.
I think Brands also really works well for British touring cars, whereas World
Yeah.
touring cars, I think Donington's a better circuit for them.
Yeah.
I mean, if I feel faster in a certain car, I'll just go for it.
And the Sim just wants one that's faster, and who can blame him? So anyway, I guess that's it. So thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll be back, obviously, for Formula E 17th of November, as I said. But touring cars will be back in the new year, along with season 3 of the EERC Championship. We're announcing the calendar as soon as we can, and hopefully linking you all the things you need to know to keep track of that. But thanks for watching for now, and I hope you enjoyed all the action you've seen from EERC endurance racing and touring cars this year. We'll see you next year. Formula E next, though, so better charge your batteries, recharge your batteries rather, and get ready for that. So from me, from Josh, from Adam, from Nick, and Nassim, it's goodbye.